honestly. All right, we can slide on here and talk about Ubisoft. This was a bit of an older story, but we gotta keep tabs on it, man. There was another stumbling block in Ubisoft's path this year. Apparently, the team behind Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, they've been dissolved. They have been dissolved. They are out of here. They have been pushed on to other teams and other projects, and that whole squad is disbanded, man. Apparently, there was some pushback in trying to fight for a sequel by that team, but apparently it didn't get greenlit at all. After what, like it sold 1 million copies like to this date or around this rough date. But yeah, they are excommunicado. They are no more, and they've been moved on to different projects. Some have been moved to the next Ghost Recon game, some have gone to Beyond Good and Evil 2, which still exists, and some have gone to a Rayman remake project, which we can talk about a little bit afterwards. But when the general passing and disbanding of this Ubisoft team that made Prince of Persia: Lost Crown, how do you feel?
I think this is kind of like the after. I honestly feel like this might be because they weren't able to close down the Skull and Bones studio. Like, I really do feel like they have to make their money back somehow. And yeah, why not close down one of their best reviewed games of fucking a long ass time, actually. One of their most well received games of a long time. And it's really sad to see, because this is just corporate greed, honestly. Like, if I really would love to know if this is happening while CEOs are still getting bonuses and pay raises. Like,
you bet
I really
your ass Steve Guillemot's getting that raise, bro.
Like,
All
it just doesn't
getting their money.
It just doesn't make sense. But I really honestly am really happy for the Skull and Bones team that they have been able to like be like, nah, man, fuck y'all gonna pay us our money. And honestly, I love the what is it, Sweden?
No,
Like, I love
Singapore.
that Singapore. I'm happy that Singapore takes care of its people and doesn't let motherfuckers get taken advantage like this, because they should not have gotten fired. No, there's no way that game, the most original fucking Ubisoft game in a long ass time.
Oh wait,
is
no,
getting
wait,
treated like
the team of the Ubisoft studio or the team of the Skull and Bones team?
The Skull and Bones team.
Oh yeah, it was Singapore. Yeah, okay. I was
Yeah.
double checking.
Shout out to Singapore for having shit in place for people not to get taken advantage of by fucking corporate greed. Like, that's really is a beautiful sight to see, because god damn, fuck Ubisoft. This is why I can never feel good about anything that they do, because of shit like this. Because I just can't imagine doing imagine doing an amazing job and still getting fired. Why? Because motherfuckers need 3 yachts, and them 3 yachts is expensive. Like, shit is ass. Shit is truly ass.
My 2 cents on this is it's not just greed, but it's gross incompetence at this point. How do you expect to build a successful franchise in this day and age if you're not willing to invest when you're especially when you're behind the 8 ball? One, let's get this straight. Metroidvanias aren't a popular genre. We talked about this with Kendall. Shout out to Kendall, huge Metroidvania fan of the series, and like just the general series, the genre. When, of course, you played a bunch of Metroidvanias in your time, and just by looking, like, you can tell it's not a popular genre by trade. It's not gonna sell crazy units. What it can do is provide a lot of critical acclaim and success, and bring some eyes back to the IP where you can build on. This was a fantastic game that built on bringing the IP back to glory. If you just drop the Prince of Persia remake off of that, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, cool, you might get a decent remake, but people might be dead and gone and out of it. But you provided this team, I believe it was Ubisoft Montpellier, they provided a new perspective in a new genre, and that really brought it together. That really brought the game together. It was an absolute standout from the top of this year, which seems like a lifetime ago, but at the top of the year they dropped this thing. Huge critical acclaim, really good sales. 1 million copies to date for a Metroidvania is really good. That's really good. But what expectations did you have for a Metroidvania, you know what I'm saying, for that to sell? I think the expectation that Ubisoft put on this game was insane. That made no sense. And the fact that they were so ready to cut this off rather than, again, do what they probably needed to do and spend more money and invest in the IP to fully develop it out, and maybe you would have a chance to see more success with Prince of Persia. Maybe you would have a chance to do all that, instead of put your eggs in one basket and expect a Prince of Persia remake to make all the money that further development of the IP and different projects of different sizes would contribute to doing. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, like actually investing further, instead of saying, let's just put this all on one Assassin's Creed game and see if that can raise our standing and raise our stock price in the next year. That's not it. That's not how you develop at this point, especially when you're as far back in terms of recognition and proper standing critically with the consumer base. You have to spend a little bit more. You have to be a lot more strategic about what games and what projects you're putting out to win fans back, to get fans interested in your IPs again. Because going cold turkey right back into Prince of Persia wouldn't have been the best way, even if it was a remake. That's still a hard leap. Doing something different, actually genuinely different with the franchise, was a breath of fresh air, and that put a lot more eyes on Ubisoft, saying, damn, they might be making some dope shit over there. They might be cooking this year. And obviously you weren't. You turned down the one thing that really brought y'all some good standing and good news this year, outside of the announcement of Assassin's Creed Shadows. That was some variety, which y'all needed. And what do y'all do? Revert to type. It's incompetence, bro. It's incompetence, and that's the thing that's gonna get them in the hole. Like,
yeah. Honestly, I think the problem is too many old people at the wheel. Like, I genuinely think it's too many old heads, too many people who are not keeping up with the times, and that's why I feel like we had them doing this whole like fake ass NFT bullshit, is because those same old people, instead of like listening to the fans, or instead of listening to people who are telling them that this shit isn't gonna work, they're like, oh, actually, I have a new idea. What if we did NFTs? That's all the rage these days, right? Like, it's just like this concept of them, like, I guess, wanting to be right. Like, I just don't understand how you guys can make these awful decisions and think like, oh, this is just a good way of going about this shit. You guys did not succeed. You guys made the worst call possible. Like, truly, honestly, if you guys actually cared, you would take some fucking pay cuts, let your team develop, and let your team grow and get better. But instead, they make something amazing, you chop it at the legs, say, oh, it is what it is, and then you're going to have mediocre games for the rest of the time. And it's going to be, and the cycle is going to repeat itself. You're going to cut people out, get a new team. They're going to make mid games. You're not going to hit the quarters you want. Eventually, somebody's going to strike gold. And then you're going to be like, oh, that was awesome. All right, let's go back to the same tried and true formula. Assassin's Creed. Like, the fact that we don't have like, and the thing is, like, even some of the games that are really loved, like For Honor and like Rainbow Six, they're just like, they shouldn't be at the place that they are right now. They should be a lot better.
Yeah.
But like, they're not just not supported. I just don't understand. You have too many. Again, I think there's just too many old people at the helm, and it's not even being about ages or anything. You don't have the fresh ideas, bro. You guys gotta start taking a back seat and giving up some of that fucking fat ass paycheck to let other people do the job right.
Yeah, but they'll never do it. The old heads who are shareholders, who have some influence, and the people who are running the show, archaic, old.
Yeah, they'd rather the company fail than let other people take control. And that's really the sad thing about it, is that they don't really give a fuck about making good games. They give a fuck about making money, and that's just always what it's been about. So honestly, I cannot wait till the day we're talking about bigger, better companies that have actually tried. Like, I can't wait till Ubisoft is no longer the name that it used to be.
I hear it, bro. But a silver lining out of this, potentially for you, I guess, I don't even know how you feel at this point, but like, they did confirm at the same time that Rayman project is happening. There is a Rayman game that is in development with I believe, again, Ubisoft Milan and Ubisoft Montpellier. Yeah, like, something is happening with Rayman at some point in the future. I don't know how you feel.
I don't believe it's going to be anything worth substance. I love Rayman. I really do. We all know in this podcast, if you listen to it long enough, you've heard me preach about how much I love Rayman. I don't think it's going to be anything worthwhile. I could easily see them being like, oh, it's Rayman Legends on mobile. Like, I truly am not like holding my breath for them to do anything with that franchise anymore. I've accepted my fate that shit is pretty much dead. And if they do something, it may be like a remake of like Rayman 3 or something along those lines. But anything worth like a good look, I'm just not gonna. And here's the thing too, is like, I not only have to be optimistic for the game to be good, I have to be optimistic for the fact that they won't fucking split the team up after it's done. Because I'm sure a lot of Prince of Persia fans were happy to see their game getting some fresh light, and now they're all like, wow, so it's pointless? Like, what's the point of playing this game anymore? And I know that they have that Prince of Persia roguelike that I really want to try out, but at this point, I don't even know if I should, because What's gonna happen? Is that shit also gonna get shut down when you guys don't make enough money to pay for a bajillion-dollar yacht? Like, fuck y'all, man.
Shit, serious, man. Serious, honestly.
And like we have these conversations and these stories. We have like what 2-3 stories of layoffs in this one podcast, and motherfuckers are talking about black people in video games. God fucking damn, bro. We have lost the plot, and people are fucking insane.
Like just insanity all across the wall, bro. Y'all out your fucking minds. Like insane. that is a whole side note. We could have literally we could have not talked about any woke anti-DI shit. We could have talked about real gaming news and real important shit that's been going on, and we still would have had 2 hours worth of stuff to talk about. Just saying. Yeah. Just putting it out there. Fucking dweebs.
Like, imagine if all the people got together and said, hey, what if instead of being racist and angry about dumb shit, we all actually talked about the fucking CEOs of these companies and put some pressure on the board of directors. You know what I'm saying? Put some pressure on the investors. Like, yo, they don't like you at all manning the helm. Maybe we should get you the fuck up out of here. But no, instead we got people talking about not enough titties. Like, sure, bro.
Facts. And bitching about games they can't get codes for, so they call them DI and woke. All right, bro. Y'all, yeah. We gonna get y'all out of here. We gonna get y'all out of here. Don't worry. In due time. But yeah, we can slide on here